Hey everybody, Scout Crafter here again. I know, it's been a crazy week, but it's Friday, you made it through the week, and you know what I want you to do now? I want you to sit back, I want you to relax. I'm going to take you on a trip upstate, and I promise you for the next 10 minutes, you're just going to relax, you're going to get away. Remember that old commercial, Calgon, Take Me Away? Well, now you could say, Scout Crafter, take me away. It's been a rough week. Come with me. Let's get out of here. Okay, everybody, welcome back. We're back upstate. We have to mow the lawn again. Check this out. Check out the lawn in 1 week's time. Can you see that? 1 week. Look how high it got. Again, it always looks so nice and green, but if I don't cut this every week about this time, I'm in for a heck of a mow. So let's get started. We're in the middle of mowing, and I just wanted to ask you, have you ever seen these before? These are orange, they're like a dandelion, you know? They're very similar to a dandelion. Let me show you what the flower looks like here. They are the most beautiful shade of orange. I hope it picks it up on the film. Sometimes it doesn't, but they are just so beautiful. I love this color. I think it's a dandelion. You can see here, it's got some other buds that come up, and when I first came up here and I was mowing the lawn, there was a whole field of these back there. I wanted to save them. I left a big section of them, but because I just love that color. Isn't that beautiful? It's like an orange with a yellow inside. Is that from the dandelion family? Maybe somebody knows out there, but it's just beautiful, isn't it? I love these things. Okay, I came home and did some research. This beautiful plant is called the orange hawkweed, and unfortunately it's considered invasive in certain areas. But come on, look at this. You can't tell me this isn't beautiful. One thing I always love is after I mow the lawn, my buddies, the robins, come out. Can you see them? The robins, they love to come out. I guess after the lawn is mowed, I guess there's either insects or worms or something that must come up, and there's a whole field for them. They're great, and they come every year. What a perfect day. Low humidity, probably 72 degrees. Look at them. Look at that sky, huh? Look how blue it is. That's has to do with some of the oxygen and everything. You don't see skies like that in the city, although it's been pretty good in the city with that COVID. It's been keeping, I guess, a lot of the pollution down. And what's great is, here's my workshop area. I have a family of white-tail or cottontail rabbits. So every time I come out, they come jumping around, and right now they're over there. Let me show you something else that's cool. Okay, you see that little, that's the corner. That's the survey stake of my property. That's the corner of my property. You can see I got my posted sign, and all that is my property. But here's what's great. You see over here? This is 100 and something acres of Catskill forest. And the reason you want to be near a forest instead of just state land, anybody can come, they could go hiking, things like this. But when you're next to a protected forest, nobody can ride ATVs and things like that here. So this goes way, way back. So it seems like your property is much bigger when you borderline property that can't be used by somebody else. So something to look for. And I could tell you at night, this reminds me of, remember Rambo, the Pacific Northwest? That's what it looks like here. Now you see this is silver birch right here. Now this is all a pile of my deadfall and things like that falls down. You never do this from a live tree, but when you see this is like gold. You take your knife like this, you score it down the side just like this, and then you peel back and get underneath the bark. You see that bark right there? Now the Native Americans, they used birch, was a big part of their livelihood. They made everything from it, including canoes, things like that. But you peel off this bark like that, and I'm going to show you. Okay, we're back in the backyard now, and I just wanted to show you here. This is the birch bark. Now, the reason they called it white birch or silver birch, there's different types of birch, but they all have this beautiful bark. And the Native Americans used to use this bark to make all kinds of things. Like I said, canoes. They used to make all kinds of handicrafts. They even covered their teepees with it. Now, this bark has an oil in it, and it's very water resistant. This will burn even when damp or wet. But it has a special oil in it that is very flammable. Now, when we were in Scouts, the first thing we would do when we saw a downed birch tree is we would peel off this bark. It was like gold. It's the best fire starter that you can get in the wild. And let me show you why it's so good. I'm going to take a small piece here, like this piece, and I'm just going to light it and show you how nice it burns. Now, sometimes you'll get a little bit of a black smoke, but that's the oil burning off of it. But it just burns like, we used to call it like phosphorus. It burns almost. Okay, I'm just using a regular lighter here like this. Okay, we're going to light up the corner. Now watch how this burns, okay? Now you see that black smoke? That's what I'm telling you about. That's the oil burning off. But look how this burns. Now, again, this is you put this under any kind of fire that you're making, that you're building, and this will take off. I mean, that's burning super hot. It's burning super strong, and this is a fantastic fire starter. Forget all them sparkers and everything. You have to learn what you can use in nature to start a fire. And look at that. I mean, can you get a better fire starter than a nice piece of birch? Now, one thing we used to do in Scouts, we used to have races how fast you could build a fire. Here I just took a little bit of tinder, some kindling, and we're going to use that birch bark as tinder, and I'm going to show you how quick we can get this fire going. You know, one thing I want to talk to you about while I'm up here today is this pole saw. I don't know if you've ever used a pole saw or know anything about it. I just wanted to give you a quick introduction. This tool has saved me so much time and effort. It's such a great tool. This one is made by Fiskars. It's very popular, and it's 14-foot length, this pole saw. It extends. You can see you flip this lever, and this center section comes out, and it's fiberglass. It has a pruning feature. You see here, there's a little rope that I took off because I usually use the saw up here, but the rope will come over this pulley, and you can see that it has a pruning feature that'll prune up to 1-inch branches, which comes in great. But the saw is amazing, what you can take down. And you know, it's very important when you're up here to go through the entire your property and make sure you take down any branches that might be hanging low. If you're walking around at night, you get poked in the eye. So it's always good to maintain your property, your forest area. I wanted to show you how this works because it's such a great tool, and maybe you've never used one before, you don't know anything about it. The first thing is that you'll see the blade folds out like this, and there's a little button here that goes into one of these holes of the blade. And what you would do is you would put it into, let's say the second one here like this. I like this particular curve. And the curve of this, you'll see how it works. It actually helps make the cut. Now, before you start using the pole saw, first thing you want to do is you want to spray it down with a little lubricant. I'll use this 336, spray it down. And this way, it just makes it much easier to use. So you spray that down. And of course, you want to have, for safety reasons, you want to have a hard hat. Always when you're in the area like this and you're doing any kind of work, you always have some kind of hard hat. And again, eye protection. Let's go over. I'm going to prune a small branch just to show you how great this thing works. Now the tree I chose for this demonstration is this one over here. You can see this one as you enter the property. You can see these two branches here very low, but you can use that if they were up to 14 feet. And you can see how thick these branches are. So it's quite a thickness, and we're going to be attacking the branch right here where it's close to the body of the tree. We're going to cut it here, and I'm going to show you how great this works. Now first I'm going to cut this small branch here so that I have room. That's over here. Now you can see how quickly that works, and it's important to remember that when you're not using, when you're close enough to the ground that you don't have to extend it, try and keep the pole all the way in. It gives you more rigidity. Now, if you notice here, you'll see it looks like I'm short stroking or taking small strokes of the saw, and that's because on the harder woods, like this maple, that part of the saw that's doing the cutting is the real efficient part. Now, if I was doing pine or a softer wood, you can do the full stroke, but I find the short stroke works really well, and it goes through it very quickly. There's no need to try and race through it. One thing to remember, like Japanese saws, these saws cut on the pull stroke. Now I know those branches might have looked a little bit small, but you can see here, once they're down on the ground, they're pretty big. So you could see the capacity of that small pole saw and how great that curved blade works. So if you've never had a pole saw and you're looking for one, I highly suggest. It's about $46 and it's sold at Home Depot. It's fiberglass, great little item. Sometimes on the way home, I'll stop over here at the Quick Way Twin Cone. That's right, a good old-fashioned ice cream parlor, you know, to take out. And oh boy, they got all kinds of flavors. I'll try and get a close-up shot, but boy, this is some good stuff. Remember custard years ago? They used to call it custard. Anyway, this is exit 116 on the thruway, and it's always a treat. Oh yeah. Okay everybody, I hope you feel better than you did 11 minutes ago. Thanks very much for tuning in. I hope you have a nice weekend. Take care now. Bye-bye.